Is there systemic issues in this country that are holding us back from achieving financial freedom? That is the question we are going to dive into in today's podcast. Stay tuned. Hola, hola. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to talk about something that came across on my TikTok. It was a Latina that is based in California. It sounds like she might be a professor at a university making six figures. And she was explaining how this was the very first time she was going to be making six figures and that she was still struggling financially and that she's still living paycheck to paycheck. And when she was sharing her story, I was very compelled to reply to her and offer her my services absolutely free. And I thought, I just want her to see that there maybe could be other options that she might not be thinking about. I mean, she looks like she's a very bright person. And sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. And so I thought, I'm going to just send her a message. Or actually, I didn't send her a message. I replied as a comment. And it was really interesting that she then made a video where she was sharing how she didn't need a budget. She needed the systemic issues in our country to be resolved. And although I want to start off with, do I think there are systemic issues in this country? Absolutely. 100%. Do I think that there is nothing we can do about them? No. I think there's a lot that we can control. There's a lot that we can do to improve our immediate situation. And sometimes we might not think of these things. And that's why you should partner with someone that has been budgeting for a long time or can help you invest, that has experience. And that's what you should probably lean into and change your focus from. This country, this government is not going to help you, right? Like, there's nothing that government can do to affect you directly. And there's a lot that we can learn. There's a lot that we can apply into our lives. And although, like, I would not be able to know exactly what the situation is, right? The one thing that she did share in the second video was that she didn't have any debt, that she didn't have student loans, and that she was still struggling. And although I completely believe her, I do think that sometimes we just haven't thought of something that might help. And so unless I would have had the opportunity to review her finances, review her budget, check to see how her expenses are and what the cost of living is for her in California, which I'm sure is very high. I'm originally from California. I know what it's like to live there and not be able to afford a home. That's why I moved to Arizona, because I was making close to minimum wage in California. I was a mom already, and there was no way I was going to be able to afford a home and even, be in a good school district. Like, that was going to be tough to find. And so, and really, like, I know firsthand what it's like to live in California and be strapped for money. I was born and raised in East LA. I know what it's like to struggle. And so the thing is that there are so many options, right? I would have loved to review her money situation. You can budget, but are you budgeting to your full potential? Are you using the best strategy for you? And the thing is, budgeting is like note-taking in college. There are so many different strategies that you can use when taking notes in college. There are so many ways to budget that are helpful. And so, like, for example, I was trained to do a zero-based budget. That doesn't work for me. There are too many things that change month to month with a family, with children, that a zero-based budget doesn't work for me. I had to create my own strategy, my own way of budgeting. And for me, an Excel sheet still works for today. Like, I started my Excel sheet back in 2010 and I still use that format today because I found something that works for me and I just kept going. You need to find the right budget strategy that works for you. Whether that's an app, whether that's paper pen, it doesn't matter. I've helped people with Excel sheets and apps. I've had very few with paper pen, but I can show you how to do it. It doesn't work for me specifically, and I'll tell you why. See, a paper pen, when you do that and you plan out your budget, there are so many things that change throughout the month that it's really hard to really keep it to the penny. And I love being exact. I love knowing exactly where I spent my money and where it's going and where it's planned. And a paper pen method doesn't work for me, but it might work for you. And that's okay. And the Excel sheet for me, I can go in there once a week, every day, whatever I need, as often as I need, and make some changes to what's happening. Maybe I didn't plan something. Maybe I need to move some things around. It allows me to do that because there's formulas involved in the Excel sheet. And an application, I have many, many clients that have used apps that help them schedule all of their budget items, and it works for them. They program it so that the bank information is linked to the app, and I've helped set those up. It's whatever works for you. What can you stay consistent with? Because budgeting you have to do forever. It's a one and done for a lot of people, but it shouldn't be. It has to be something you do all the time, forever. If you want to win with money, you have to budget every single month, at least. And honestly, for me, like, I have my Excel sheet, which is 1 month. It's like a whole view of the month, and then it's divided by week. So it's a view of a month at a glance, and then it's divided by week, because there are a lot of things that are weekly, a lot of things that are monthly, and then there's paychecks that are bi-weekly. So that's how it works for me. It's really interesting how some people have misconceptions about budgeting, and they think that budgeting is only needed to get out of debt, but that's not the case. The truth is, you need a budget for everything that is going on in your life. You need to plan it, because if you don't plan it, it's not going to happen. And that is the start of anything, right? If you think of the things that you've accomplished, let's say you've accomplished a college degree. You had to go sit with a counselor at least once and plan out your 4-year degree, what classes you're going to take, and get organized with it. It's the same thing. If you want to reach retirement and have enough money in retirement, you have to plan it. It doesn't just happen. If you want to get out of debt, you have to create a debt payment plan. You have to create a plan to get out of that debt. It's not going to just happen overnight. Giving your minimum payments every single month is not going to get you out of debt. You have to be intentional. You have to sit down and make time for this. And that's what's really difficult, that we're so busy that we don't prioritize the simple task of budgeting. And it might not be simple for you, and that's okay. But partner with someone that can help you, that can guide you. Because it's a skill, and skills can be learned. So if you are interested in learning how to budget, in creating a debt payment plan, call me. Send me a message on debtfreelatina.com. I'm on Instagram at debtfree.latina, and make sure you reach out. I have 15-minute consultations that are absolutely free. I will sit with you. I will show you what you can expect. And I will give you some free tips. If you give me a little bit of what's going on, I might not be able to go deep into the numbers because I need to have all of your details in order to diagnose what the issue might be or what your goals are and how you can improve your financial situation, but I can definitely help. So make sure that you go on debtfreelatina.com, schedule a call with me. I'd love to meet with you. And don't forget, leave a review. If you're listening to this on iTunes or Spotify, please leave a review if this has been helpful to you. I want to also invite you, if you are new here, go back and listen to old episodes. They are great. If you're just starting your debt-free journey, go and listen to the episodes back in 2020 and 2021. I go into a lot of details of how I was able to get out of debt back in 2010 through 2012. And there's a lot of information that I had to learn in the financial services realm that a lot of us were not taught in our homes because money was a taboo topic. No se habla de dinero. And honestly, it has been a disservice to us. But I'm here to help. And if there's anything I can do to help, please reach out. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you next week.